Hey everybody, welcome today. We are here with Georgie from Teacher's Friend. She's actually the owner. And if you have ever thought about being able to travel abroad whilst earning some money, so this is not costing you anything to travel, we have got the way for you to do this. I know a lot of you have asked me in the past about becoming a travel agent and traveling for free. Well, I think Georgie's she's cracked this one. So we are going to talk about this. So Georgie, tell me a little bit about what Teacher's Friend is.
So Teacher's Friend helps people to get certified and to move abroad to teach English. So I've been doing it since 2016 because people kept asking me, like, how can I do it? How can I get a job? How can I do this? And I was like, after a while, I was like, maybe I could help people on a bigger scale. And, it's always great to make money doing what you enjoy. So yeah, that's what I help people to do. And I help people from all places all over the world.
Now, do you have to be able to speak the other language in order to teach it?
So you don't need to speak the language. So if you're teaching beginners, it will all be done with mime. So for example, if I was going to teach cat, I might go in and be like, this is my best cat impression, by the way. I would go in and I'd be like, meow, meow, meow. And I would ask the students, like, do you know what this is? Or I could use a flashcard if your miming skills are not up to standard. And I'd show them a picture. And if they don't know, it's okay. We're just finding out whether they know. And then we would keep saying the word again and again. And you might ask the whole class and then smaller groups and individuals. And then you'd give the students an action to help them to remember the word, and then you move on. And once they've learned these words, you might play a game or an activity. Eventually, you begin adding in a sentence.
I know you're predominantly in a lot of Asian countries, but you are in a couple of Spanish-speaking countries. Tell us about some of the Asian countries as well.
So yeah, we've got Costa Rica and we've got Spain. And then we've also got Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, South Korea, Japan, and Myanmar. And so in all of those countries, you can do a TEFL certificate, which is face-to-face for 4 weeks, or you can get job placement, which is guaranteed job placement, where you then get the job at the end of it. And obviously, if you do both together, you get like a combined package.
What's the duration of that course?
So the courses are open to native speakers and non-native speakers, as long as the non-native speakers are fluent in English. So that course is a 4-week course. So it's typically from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. So in the first 2 weeks, you're learning techniques like managing the classroom, how to plan a lesson, how to teach grammar, and also what some of the grammar is, and then learning all your key skills like reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Then the next 2 weeks, you go into a real classroom with real students, and you actually get feedback from your trainer and from your peers on like things you're doing well, things you can improve. So it's really vital, I think, doing this face-to-face course and actually getting in the classroom and getting like real experience of teaching.
You said that they can do an online class, but just from the sense of learning how to, use the different mimics and stuff like that, I can definitely see where the face-to-face one would help make it all make sense faster, sooner.
Generally, the people doing the online find it easier because like, oh yeah, cool, I've got it. But they haven't got it. And then they go in the classroom and that's when they struggle. Whereas the people that do face-to-face are like, oh my gosh, what is this? This is harder than I thought it was going to be. And then they go into the classroom and they kind of thrive because they're like, okay, it's all coming together now. If you have the funds and the time, 100% do a face-to-face TEFL, because also it's not just about learning to be a teacher, but employers look for face-to-face over online, especially since COVID. There's a lot of not so good online courses popping up. The face-to-face ones tend to be more regulated and a better learning experience. So employers are looking for it. And then also a lot of classes, interviews, you have to do a demo lesson. And again, you're just going to have more confidence, know what you're doing more and be better if you have done it face-to-face. But I understand that not everyone has the budget and not everybody has the time. So all I'm saying is if you can find the money, it's 100% worth it.
do you help them with location for finding a place to live, and then with the whole job search afterwards? Like, what part of that do you help with? Because I would just be lost.
You'll get help with everything. So you get help with the visa and the arrival, all of the pre-departure stuff that you need. And that includes like what to pack. So obviously I've been doing this for a while now. So I have like a list of things that you do need and things that you don't need that you might not know about. You'll get on a call before you go, make sure you've got everything that you need. And then when you arrive, you'll get help with like the best areas, the expat areas, etc. Generally, you'll be told not to find your accommodation until you've got your job. And then afterwards as well, you'll just get help to settle in. And in terms of me personally, I help during the TEFL if you're struggling or need that kind of extra boost or extra support. And then I help to bridge the gap between teaching when you come out of the TEFL course and when you're in the classroom for the first month, 2 months. It can be a little bit of a steep learning curve. So I'm there to kind of bridge that gap, help you with lesson ideas, help you put a plan together.
What's sort of the majority age of some of the people who go through this course? And
typically we've got people and they're mid-20s to mid-30s. But more and more, we're seeing like mid-30s to mid-50s, getting a lot of people that are retired and they're wanting to still make some money and live in the country. We've got some people that are retired and already have money, but they want to go and do volunteering. And then we've got people in their mid-30s, mid-40s that just want to pivot and do something different. So yes, it is harder sometimes to pick up new things, and it is a lot of information, but that's why I think, I'm here to help. I've done it for a long time, and that's why I think it's good to have like someone outside of your tutor on the course to be like, okay, let's not all panic. This is what we're gonna do. Another kind of person that finds it hard are perfectionists. So any perfectionists out there, come, because you're going to be a really good teacher. But part of your process is going to be learning to just let it go.
Are they committing to like 5 years or more, or is it like super short, 6 months? What's the sort of timeline?
So typically, most contracts are a year, which I think is a great amount of time. Because honestly, in 3 to 4 months, you're still settling in. You're still kind of finding the ropes, getting into teaching. So typically it's a year. But the great thing about teaching is pretty much like every contract is renewable. So once you've done that year, if you want to stay for 5 years, it's very easy. But yeah, minimum commitment that you're looking at is a year, which if you're going to go and move, I think is good. There are exceptions, as there always are. There are 3-month contracts, especially over summer, and there are 6-month contracts. There is also the option to teach online. So you can do your TEFL online and you can be an online teacher, in which case normally you're the boss. So you can do it for as little or as long as you want to do.
Is this going to make them a lot of money? Is it going to make them, give them enough money to cover their cost of living? So there's no you're not drawing from your savings to enjoy life abroad. It might be a different answer for each country, but you find that it is going to pull some of your savings, but it's a great experience, therefore it's worth it.
All of it. It really depends. It does also depend on nationality, unfortunately, whether you have a degree, but you can work without a degree, which is great, especially Cambodia and Costa Rica are really great options for that. So you've got like South America, you're basically going to break even if you're over there. And a lot of people actually teach English online or do private tutoring on the side just to kind of like top up that income. But then you've got Europe, again, break even, but you're living in Europe, which is pretty cool. Spain is like a massive place, but you can teach like all over Europe. Again, we've got the issue, especially for people who are from the other side, like America, Canada, with the visa. But there are programs coming in now where you can do like Spanish learning courses, for example. So you can come and learn Spanish, which is one of our programs, and then you're allowed to work part-time on the side of that, and then you can teach online as well. So there's a lot of people at the moment coming to Spain. Spain's a big one at the moment. You've got Southeast Asia, which is where you're going to save money. Typically, people save between like $200 and $1,000 savings in Southeast Asia. Vietnam is a big one for saving. You can save in Japan, South Korea, because Japan and South Korea, it's a lot more expensive, but all your accommodation is paid for. I live in this, it's just like a studio apartment. I've got my own ensuite. I've got a pool down there. There's a kitchen, and I think it's $450 a month, and that's expensive. Bali is like more expensive. Like I've lived in $300, $400 one-bedroom apartments, like, and the cost of living is just so cheap. So Southeast Asia is where you want to be if you want to save, but everywhere else, like, you're not going to be eating in your savings. You're going to live a good lifestyle. You're not going to be scrimping and saving. And there's also the UAE. Anyone that's interested, that's like big money. And China, typically you need a bit more experience to get in there. You might need like a teaching license, etc. It depends. But with a year's experience and a degree, there's like big money over there. Like people save like $1,000, $2,000 a month.
But with your website, you have, I think, 7 countries listed. But part of what your service offers is to offer placement and help for any other destination. So
I have a partner, and that partner works in the countries on my website. Typically, they can only get jobs for US, UK, Canada, Australia, Ireland, South Africa. Have I missed anyone? New Zealand. Generally, you need a degree, but there are options. There's ones in Thailand and South Korea where you don't need a degree. But then on top of that, I also offer like a smaller package that's just assistance with getting a job. And that can be for anywhere in the world. It doesn't come with the full relocation assistance, but I can point you in the right direction. I can basically do the research for you. So you tell me you want to go here, and I know how I would go about doing that research. I do all the research for you. I look into where you can find housing, etc. And then I'll also help you with passing your interview, passing your demo lesson, optimizing your CV. I help people from any nationality, with or without a degree. That's what I'm really trying to help with. It's just that with that one, I can't necessarily help with guaranteed placement. So it's job assistance. Basically, if you are American with a degree, you can pretty much teach like anywhere in the world. If you're from any of those countries with a degree, the world is your oyster, basically.
So if somebody has listened to this all along so far, and they've decided this is definitely something that they want to give a try, then what's the next step for them?
The first thing would be decide, do you want to go online? Do you want to go face-to-face? And then which country are you looking at doing that? And that is going to depend on like, do they have a degree? Where are they from? Etc. etc.
You've created a landing page for me, so people will post that link. And then the benefit to them going through that is?
So come through the landing page, and then some of the online TEFLs that I have, they'll come with discount because you've come through that. And then also you'll get, like, a lot of the help I've been talking about is my help. So I'm helping you to get a TEFL through my partner, but all of the lesson planning assistance, help with the interviews, help with the lesson planning after the course, that's all like with Teacher's Friend. So that's what you're getting on top of everything else that you will be getting. It's very easy. Like typically once you've got qualified, you'll have a job within like 1 to 2 weeks off the back of that. But I do also offer consultations for the online TEFL to help you decide like which online TEFL is going to be the one for you. And I do discovery calls.
So thanks for taking the time to meet with us, Georgie. Really appreciate all the in-depth information that you've given us.
Perfect. Well, I look forward to meeting anybody that would like to do it. Just to warn you, if you do speak to me, I'll be like, just do it. So, I'm quite good at convincing people. It's an amazing experience.